This past weekend, the 79-year-old, possibly demented president of the United States appeared on Fox News. And of course, he was supposed to be, talking about Charlie Kirk and mourning it. I mean, after all, this was the episode where he revealed who the killer was, which is a totally normal thing to do in a country, right? He was the guy who officially announced the death. He's the guy that officially announces who was arrested for it, on the third try, because they got it wrong, then they got it wrong, then they finally got the guy, but then they got all that information wrong, and, so on and so forth, because Kash Patel is a complete moron. But anyway, Trump decided to have a bit of a senior moment and show the world just how demented he truly is by not remembering which countries he has bartered peace agreements between, even though I think that's giving him way too much credit. Trump said, quote, "So I solved, as you know, 7 wars. 7, I did so many, including Pakistan and India, big ones. Some were unsolvable. Congo and Rwanda, I solved it. It was going on for 31 years. Millions of people killed. I solved wars that were unsolvable." Then he said he also solved the war between Azerbaijan and Albania, which was going on for many, many years. I had the prime ministers and presidents in my office. They sat so far apart. One chair was there, one chair was there. I said, fellas, get together. Come on. Now, God, sometimes it hurts my brain to have to talk about this guy. First and foremost, he's bragging about so-called accomplishments that, of course, he did not facilitate necessarily. These are talks that have been going on for years. He just gets credit because it happened under his watch, whatever. You're supposed to be talking about the guy you just captured that killed Charlie Kirk. You're supposed to be in mourning, right? You're supposed to be sad. But then you're like, by the way, look at all these great things I did. And then you proceeded to get them wrong. Albania and Azerbaijan have never been at war. In fact, Albania has actually never been at war. Not just with Azerbaijan, with anyone. Ever. So this guy, who desperately wants a Nobel Peace Prize so bad he can taste it, can't even remember the names of the countries of the people he met with. Now, what gets me, because it gets me every time and it's never going to not piss me off, is that President Biden actually did similar things in his last year of his presidency, right? He would get a country wrong, or he would say that this leader, prime minister, or president was, from a different country, which would be wrong. And then the funny part, we would see days and days and days and days of headlines about how President Biden is mentally unfit, about how the White House is covering it up. This man doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground, doesn't know where he is half the time, right? I mean, those were the talking points, mostly on the right, but some through regular media. Is there a problem with the president, they would say. What's wrong with his brain? He can't remember very simple things. Trump did this last Friday, folks. This has been 8 days ago. 8 days. How many stories have you seen on it? Right? How many minutes did the corporate-controlled media spend talking about the thing that would have been headlines for days under Biden? The answer is they didn't. They didn't care. This isn't a big deal. Yeah, we know Trump's got problems. Oh, well, let's move on. You're moving on at not just your own peril, but the peril of the entire country. This man's mental health is getting worse by the day, and they won't talk about it. They won't investigate it. They won't ask the White House the hard questions. They won't even question, hey, why did you have a guy that hasn't had a medical license in 5 years release a statement on Trump's health instead of his actual doctor? Y'all won't do any of the hard work. You won't do any of it. You're lazy, you're incompetent, and no one in this country should be tuning in to a corporate-controlled media outlet. No, at least not for news. You want to do it for entertainment? That's fine. And by the way, I'm not going to make any exceptions either. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, of course, Newsmax, ABC News, NBC News, CBS News. Don't ever watch any of those ever again. I'm not going to quibble. I'm not going to listen to, I like the what. I don't care. Turn them off now and never turn them back on. They are not covering the issues. They are not covering this man's declining mental health in a meaningful way, if at all, that is giving you the information you need. Something is definitely wrong with him. The White House is definitely covering it up. And if an outlet is not willing to come out and tell you that truth, don't ever tune into them again. Thanks for watching, everyone. You know, we're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.